And we're back.
What's up?
And we're down to
What's up?
John.
Yeah.
He's sick. Get well soon,
Sadly.
John.
So we're gonna have to just, if anything needs to come up character sheet wise, I'm pretty sure someone has control of that sheet.
Yep.
I think everyone might.
Except
Yeah,
Devin.
at this point. That makes sense. Devin's got the very heavy spell casting here.
And also
Yeah.
the recording.
And that.
Yeah, I think like the three of us, except Devin, have access to all of each other's sheets.
It's always
Uh,
fun whenever John goes to roll to himself and we get to see it.
scheduling. Anyhow. So, we're down one player, but we can still continue. So, who wants to do the recap?
Hello. So, we started off time traveling. Our turnips have spoiled. So Alsana's scries. We didn't really
Wrong
describe
notebook.
them. Wait, fuck, shit, turnip prices, shit. We started out with all those scries. On the third day of scrying on Miracalda, it works. Kinda hot. So, Miracalda and Alaris were talking a little bit, and Calda wants to steal Rose back, and there's just a lot of shit there. Good fucking lord, guys. Calda was looking at a book of multiplanar portals, and tried to scry on Miralsana next. Nah. And then one on Alaris that works. Ta-da! So they start off in the stone hallways that the last scry was also in, and him and Calder are talking to each other a little bit about like what happened the 2 days before. Yeah, I think so. And Alaris went through a little gate area, and apparently they have like an entire camp with troops and an army, which is and they're stationed somewhere like in the Dragon Spine, overlooking a lake, which is probably where the shrine is, because I'm looking at the map and that's where the shrine is. And yeah, so after all those scries, Kane contacts Alsana and she's like, yo, get down south now. And Alsana's like, well, I have to get everyone first, give me a few fucking days. Walton, poof. Yo, Alaris, get the fuck over here, but I need to sleep first. Cool.
Also, I'm gonna
Good
terrify
night.
this kid in the watchtower.
Yeah, I have that written. I wasn't gonna say it. And then sleepy time. Calda, poof, on Barion. And so everything gets ready. We all get that stuff to return to Moor. It's the 18th when we get to Moor. And so Kane's talking to Dren, and Kane was like, Dren, we should fucking fight. But I need to handicap myself, like, just so we have more fight. And Dren's like, no. And Dren also doesn't want to return to the tribes. But they all wait outside of Moor while Kane goes to meet up with the party. And so he goes back to Moor alone and wants to give children knives. We're not talking about that. So, on the morning of the 18th, we get to Moor via tree! Alsana goes to check on Harry and the baby. And we see Big Snake. Snake want food. Big Snake want food. And we're like, fuck you. And we kill it. And we go on the boat, Kane's little boat. And he brings us to speed with the entire issue with the mercenaries and whatever the hell's going on. And we're like, what's up with all these fucking snakes? And Alsana communes with nature, and commune with nature's like, there's something up with all these fucking snakes, bro. So as we
Thank you,
approach,
nature.
yeah, and we're like, thanks, nature. Kind of knew that, but thanks for the confirmation. So as we approach that little group of mercs, is it okay if I say mercs, or is that short for something that's bad too?
No, that's fine.
Okay, cool. So as we approach them, we hear them fighting snakes, and apparently, what's-her-face's talisman for repelling snakes isn't really working. So we do combat, and we kill a lot of fucking snakes. I keep saying the word snakes, but the session ends with Alsana being like, one of these things are not like the other. So the two other people, Tia and Rod, I think their names are actually the faces of the masked people for Thresholds. And Ariel's like, yep, I'm gonna end the session there. Peace out.
Which is
And that
always
was it.
fun.
Yeah, and that was it, which is great.
All right then. So, we're picking up with the party and then some gathered together on a small, crude little island in the middle of the swamp, surrounded by the corpses of a great many snakes. The fight's just ended, spells have subsided. What would you like to do?
Let's just gonna stare at the two she recognizes but doesn't for a second.
Well, should I get on the boat then?
So, well, more so. I think proper introductions are in order.
Uh, the other party looks at each other. And stepping forward is the red-haired young woman, the shortest of the group. And she holds out a hand with a big, bright smile. Eulalia Sutherland. You would be... forgive me if I got it wrong, but he did mention a sister.
Yes. Alsana.
Well,
Shakes her hand.
Charmed. Absolutely charmed. Thank you very much for coming. It was looking a little bit rough for a little while.
I'd say that's a fair assessment. And this is your entourage?
Of course. This is Dren. He and Kane apparently know each other. This is Rod, and this is Tia.
Rod and Tia. And just glances at you. Are those your birth names?
They both give odd looks to you, glance at each other, or back to you, and then nod.
Just she nods along. Okay. Looks back. So, I got a very vague summation from Kane, and I suppose we can get on the boats as we're talking.
Yes, please, I'd like to be away from, and she looks around at all of the gore and serpentine bodies and shudders a little. This.
That's fair. The
Oh.
snakes are honestly assholes.
If I'm to be honest, dear, there's many more, and they can swim.
Well.
We'll take the edges of the boat. You'll be fine.
Thank you.
Though I still expect everyone to paddle.
I'd like to keep my arms inside the boat if I could, please.
And paddle very, very quickly.
So, what has got you so motivated that you're willing to wade into this clearly very uncomfortable situation?
Well, for one thing, I really thought that this would do a bit more, and she thumbs the necklace of the snake charm around her neck. I guess it's got some limits I didn't really expect.
May I? And she just puts a hand out.
As long as I can get it back.
Oh,
you're
you
not
can
gonna...
keep wearing it if you want.
All right then. She lets you hold on to it. I assume you do your identify.
Can she do an Arcana first?
Sure. Go ahead and roll that.
All right, guidance as well. Haha.
Oh.
33. She's trying to basically get a sense of basically the power in this thing.
It is not strong. It is kind of it is very much a mirror to the attracting charm, or really statuette, that you guys found buried at the shrine. Down to the point that if there are magical signatures, there would be the same magical signature. Whoever enchanted the one enchanted this one as well. That being said, it is not the same enchantment. That one, again, had a very attractive quality to it, albeit limited to only serpents. This one is repellent to this, kind of to serpents as well, but it seems that while the attractant one, either it was strong enough to call in more powerful snakes, and this is not strong enough to repel those same serpents, or the compulsion to come towards was something that a snake didn't bother like resisting. Basically, this is a fairly weak magical charm. Effective to a point, but once you get up to this level of terrible, terrible things, it starts running out of use.
She kind of turns it over and it's like, well, this is certainly by the same hand as the totem, although this is more suited for the odd cobra in a desert, perhaps. I don't think you're going to be getting as much mileage on it with one this big and tough.
Tia kind of speaks up from beside and says, a few of them were avoiding her and the area around her, I think. Some of the big ones, but the swarms were weird.
They are of many minds, not easily affected by more targeted magic. Although swarms such as that only appear when some sort of magic oddity is afoot. They're not natural by any means. This makes me wonder why there are still so many here. Do you know if there's any more of these? She kind of pulls on the one around the neck. This or the totem.
There shouldn't be, but then I don't know. It was kind of a commission job, apparently, and I don't know all the details. It wasn't done by me. It was kind of family thing, and
Your family is?
Sutherland's?
Still
I mean,
with them?
we're not huge. Go ahead and roll a history check, I think.
She'll do
Oh boy. Okay.
that. 28.
28. Surprisingly, you probably have come across like a very brief reference in some book, even though it's not particularly your area of study. There might have been like a historical Sutherland who had a little bit to do with some magic at some point. Kind of a on the lower end of nobility family, way down south in mainly on the border of Laris. Technically, they are inhabitants and citizens of that kingdom. However, due to the proximity of their home to the border, sometimes there's trade, sometimes there's movement back and forth. They're not huge movers and shakers, though, at least not in the sense of you haven't come across the name over and over and over again. And it was probably an obscure little footnote tucked away that is just now springing to mind thanks to a roll of 28.
Mind you, her mind is wacky because she's been doing lines of magical knowledge.
That is true. That's probably also an explanation.
She kind of like glances up. From across the border. Oh, that explains the entourage. You're not high scale, but you're a bit of a princess, aren't you?
Well, I'm kind of actually surprised you recognized the name. Not many up here, or at least I assume not many up here beyond the border would have. You merchant family or
No.
noble?
Like I
You're
said,
Knowledgeable. Let's just go with knowledgeable.
she's the brains. Like I said.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
So
Well-
then, what does your lukewarm noble family want with magic repelling and attracting snakes?
It wasn't really like it wasn't the family as a whole. As you guys are probably on the boats by now and paddling, are you going back to Moor or are you going somewhere else? Just to make sure.
Sorry, I'm going to start paddling towards the shrine.
Okay, so you're gonna go and check out the shrine.
Yeah,
All right.
He's gonna do his best to make sure that the main party has a chance to kind of rest in the boat.
Okay. I guess for just background knowledge, Dren, Rod, and Tia are all paddling. Eulalia is kind of sitting in the middle, tucked up a little bit small. Um, Anybody else in the main party could or could not paddle. I think you've got 2 boats.
I've got just the one big one that I took up to Threshold.
You're right. I keep forgetting.
Also,
Ah.
will be
Kane's
floating
going-
alongside Eulalia.
It
Kane's
makes
gonna be
extra room.
spending most of the time, mostly relaxing and occasionally hunting when needed, just
Yep.
for the sake of trying to get what amounts to a short rest if we can manage it.
Probably. I'll go ahead and allow it.
Alright.
In the meantime, Ilaris is taking the occasional pot shot at something that looks a little too serpentine and a little too close. Just,
Should I
you know,
should I
every
show
now
this
and
to you
again.
too, or-
Good work, Alaris. That vine was coming right for us.
It looked like a snake.
Mm.
And he
Had
turns around
links.
and shoots one that actually was one.
There we go.
As the snakes are not completely gone from the area, they're still... You're happening across them as you go along. Anyhow, Eulalia continues her explanation. Blah, blah. Words.
She says it while screaming.
Ah! Oh, no, sorry, that was just a vine.
Yeah.
It-
Oh, it's the one with the bolt in it still.
Anyhow, yes, anyhow, again, not so much my family as a whole, not even, I believe you might say core family. I have an uncle, who is a bit more on the adventurous side of things, and I don't know the entire story behind it, to be honest, but, I think he was trying to do some sort of, prototypes. He had some concept in mind, attracting,
Or-
repelling, twin... I actually don't know.
Insight.
Go ahead.
She's freely casting eyes at this point.
Mhm.
20.
Yeah, she doesn't seem too clear on these details, in all honesty. You know, she's certain of certain things. The adventurous uncle, they were prototypes. She's still not quite sure, though, as she's saying, if he had anything in mind, or if it was an experiment, or what. But you see, he's not really a magical sort himself, so he, I guess, had them commissioned by somebody. And again, this is all very secondhand. I like hearing his stories and seeing things he brought back, but, well, I guess previously I didn't take that much of an interest in some of the details. Anyhow, apparently he didn't really go forward with whatever he was planning anyway, or whatever he had in mind, because I guess he wasn't happy with the job done, and just kind of abandoned the concept. He stopped talking about it, and, well, he let me have this, and again she plucks at the repelling pendant around her neck. Since he knew I really don't like snakes, not even the little green ones that go in the gardens, and everybody says they're not going to hurt you, but
They're adorable.
okay, no sympathy here. Noted. Anyhow,
It's poking fun. You're very brave for being here for whatever motivations, which we'll get into later. But continue.
I expected. But anyhow, that's, well, really all I know about why they were made or how they were made. Some other mage, I don't know who, made them for my uncle. I don't know why. It's, well, the one, as far as I know, had been kind of just kept in his study. I got this one, and then that one went missing.
By anyone in particular?
That's where it gets a little Okay, there was a little bit of a circumstance that's a little bit suspicious, but it's not something that I want to be hasty about because uh, there's a person, and he's a good person. I always liked talking to him. He was always kind, always had something interesting to say, like listening. Uh, Good conversation. Young servant of the household, and he quit the job. Apparently, was going to go up north, and the day he quit, it disappeared. And I I know that it sounds bad. I know how it looks. I really do. That's kind of why I'm looking into it,
Because you
and
don't
not
want to believe it.
um a little, but also if it. The fact that it showed up here, I don't know.
Are you looking for him as well?
Honestly, if I can just find out something one way or another, um, if I can get it back, bring it home, and just know.
There's this
I
wide Cheshire grin that's going on also on his face as she's talking.
I don't. If he did take it and he did do this, I sort of want to know why. I would like to find that out. But even if nothing else came of it, even if I just was able to take the little, I don't know, artifact home and not see him again and not confront him, I don't want to drag him back. I don't want to get him in trouble. Um, and that's if he is the one who did this. Uh, well, I guess you say that you're the intellectual one, the fact-finding one. Yes.
Dear, this whole story has me terribly interested, and I find myself very invested in getting you to the end of whatever mystery this entails.
Well, I'll accept the help, but basically what I'm getting at is I'm on a little bit of a fact-finding mission myself.
Hmm. Well, aren't you lucky? Coming across one such as myself,
Oh, I'm already considering myself very lucky to have come across Kane when he was asking about it. I was starting to run a little cold on that trail. A little.
Well, we have a bit of a trail we're following on our own as well, and we can count ourselves lucky for finding you lot. So, to lay out your priorities, let's say, you
Mhm.
would like you'd like to return the totem to its original place.
Yes.
You would like to find out the mystery around why it went missing, and what relation, if any, your once servant, current, once friend, and previous servant has any involvement in.
Hmm. And I suppose there's one more little aspect. Uh, the reason why I thought it would be up north, the reason why I think it's somewhere, I think it would have been found somewhere very, very special. A lot of the stuff that I talked about, um, well, you're a mage, yes.
Nods.
I'm not exactly. I mean, I can do a little, and she does a little prestidigitation.
Oh
But no,
my.
um, I can do that, and I can kind of like keep my. I studied specifically to keep myself safe, just in case for this.
Yes,
Uh,
of course.
Mage armor.
I
That's
hate to
about it, though.
inform you, young lady.
Yes.
I think you're about to be adopted and/or adopted by this one. Be warned, it's not as pleasant as you might think.
Sure. Or is anyone who can do any sort of magic?
I adore the potential they hold, and it seems do have some, but please continue.
Notice the almost hungry excitement she has now.
Should I stop?
No, please
No,
keep
not
going.
in the slightest. She will not let you be until you finish talking now.
All right.
Don't
Again,
listen to them.
I studied less practical magic for the most part.
Any magic can be fractal.
A little bit more on the theory side, and I've had kind of an interest in this one theory for a while. Have you ever heard of ley lines?
She's leaning forward. I've read a few books on them.
All right. I I like reading old stories. I like old myths. I like things about magic. And I kind of had a guess there might be a ley line that cut through somewhere up, somewhere along the line of northwards. And it's hard to explain, but it looked like my guesses, my calculations. I am not an expert. Maybe something a little bit through the marsh up here. Unless it was further north, but there seemed to be a crossing point of sorts somewhere around this area. I sort of thought, oh, maybe there's something to do with a lot of magic there, because, crossing points and ley lines, and there tend to be a lot of stories around them. Well, I theorized at least that maybe at these crossing points, magic could be stronger, or maybe it's more unpredictable. I'm honestly not sure yet. Everything I've read seems to have conflicting theories.
Mhm.
But I remember talking about that a lot, and I don't know if maybe someone might have been testing that.
Testing it how?
Well, Kane said that you found that thing buried, and it was somewhere special that he's trying to protect.
Nods. And to what end would this testing go then?
I don't know.
Simply dowsing for a ley line?
Maybe. I honestly don't know. It could have been just seeing if that theory holds any water. Maybe that's the wrong phrasing, given the surroundings. And she looks over the side of the boat at the abundance of water all around you. Or maybe it was just to see if that theory about it, stuff getting stronger or having bigger effects or something, was more accurate.
And so this topics of conversation was between you and your recently missing friend?
Yeah. Well, among other things, but yeah, that came up a few times.
Do they have a name by any chance, by the way? I've run into many people.
Seth?
Is that a name I'm missing out of character?
Nope. It is a new name. I'm fairly sure, unless I used it for some NPC that I threw away and didn't remember.
Okay.
But
I should not be going, oh, hold on a second.
No, yeah.
Okay.
It's a new person.
Ever since the Von Brandt thing in Eric's, I am so lost confidence on myself with this stuff. So
Fair.
she just nods. Can't say I know that one. Description generally?
Young, a bit taller than me. I'd say he's kind of skinny. All limbs, really. He always seemed to wear. He liked wearing yellows and greens. Kind of dark hair. He had funny eyes, I guess, bright yellow. A little bit on the slitted side. Mixed heritage.
Mixed heritage, you say?
Yeah. I mean, it's not uncommon down south. basically you're hearing about somebody who might be at least part Yuan-Ti?
Yep. He's nodding. Those bloodlines tend to have magic in them, among other things. Interesting.
I don't think he did. At least he never, well, said anything or did anything.
But he was
Sometime-
knowledgeable on it?
Not so much knowledgeable as he'd listen to me ramble after I read something, and sometimes he'd kind of come up with an insight from the outside, if that makes sense.
I think so.
He wasn't really educated much himself. He could read basic things.
Were you given any warning from him before he departed?
Well, just that he was moving up north. He had some job opportunity or something, and said goodbye, and no, that was about it.
Can Alsana insight this?
Okay, roll it.
She's looking for unsaid feelings here.
Oh, okay, roll it.
Damn it.
I think I passed that insight.
11. You're not picking up anything concrete.
She tilts her head and just for fun, then throws out.
You're not looking for him to confess your love for him, are you?
What? No?
Just making sure.
Also, could you not pry into the personal lives of everyone you meet for once?
She rolls her eyes. She's doing a bit of prying into our information as well. It's a give and take.
Yes, and we're doing it because we need her.
And you asked me to come here and talk to her, so shush and keep rowing.
I don't think the love life is important here.
You're very far away, I can't quite hear you.
I said I don't think the love life is important here. Can we please move on to the actual issue that might be killing people as we speak?
I actually have one question. Are we going to the village I've heard about up here?
No.
Oh. Oh, I'm surprised.
Right.
I would have thought that would have been the center point of the ley lines. Maybe
No.
I was wrong.
Shakes her head.
Hmm.
You're close. Your theory is fairly well grounded. There is a bit of a area that's a wellspring of magic. Your, I guess, geographical guess is close. It's a small shrine. It's something that, well, the village people like to pay homage to.
Oh. Okay, that's interesting. You see, I kind of assumed it was going to be the village because, building a village in the marsh, there must have been some reason for it or some way to go about it, and magic made as much sense as anything.
I think for that village, raw stubbornness is a magic in of its own.
I suppose that makes sense.
But that is, we are going to the spot we found that totem.
All right.
Wondering, especially if it's something similar to what you've said, a test, so to say, siphoning off a bit of wellspring of magic from ley lines among other things, then this could be a second attempt after we foiled the first. There's some sort of magic still remaining, and I'll have to look into.
Well, I suppose we'll find out. It's okay if I stay well back, yes? Dren and Tia and Rod can help you if there is trouble, but
I would almost recommend you stay close. If only because there are many things to come from many angles.
You may have a point. All right.
Us forging ahead will leave you in the back. And that's enough for something to sneak up on.
You hear Dren speak up. I'll stay behind her.
I think that'd be for the best then. We can make a bit of a circle. My magics are a bit area based, so although I've not the highest reserves after that little foray, but I can make do. But yes, I believe staying close would be for the better, especially to Calder there.
Hello.
Hello.
She quite literally has a bit of a aura of safety about her.
All right. Yep, I will do my best for that.
There's nothing you're holding back on, is there? I want to get to the bottom of this as much as you. If there's anything you're worried about, be it personal connections or basic judgment or anything like that, it's not a worry with me at the very least. I promise.
There's nothing I can think of. I'm pretty sure I covered. Takes off on her fingers. Uncle Benjamin, Seth, the ley lines.
Benjamin, good to know the name.
Oh, yeah. He's not really big. He's not like a hero. He just kind of, he'd go off and do a little exploring, maybe fight a monster, come back.
What are his whereabouts currently?
Oh, he's even further south in, as I forget the stupid Laris. Even further south in Laris. A bit of a longer trip, I think. I'm really hoping that I can get this thing back before he returns, and especially before my parents realize that I'm, not where I'm supposed to be.
Oh, you're...
How old are you?
19?
Sight.
Insight, go ahead.
22.
I feel like Ty has advantage on insight versus 19-year-olds.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, you see, the problem is this isn't a 19-year-old.
How long have you been 19?
That's probably a good question. As long as necessary.
Fair.
Yeah. The 19 had a little bit of a rising question mark even in her voice right then.
No, you're not.
How would you know?
Because you're a terrible liar. And if you lied to your parents about running out to here, what's to stop you from telling us your age?
All right then. How's this? A lady does not reveal her age. You do not ask a lady her age.
You're not young, but you're not a lady. You're a kid.
Can also on a medicine check.
That feels very
I'm gonna say no matter what, it's gonna be really hard to gauge just because she could have one of those faces, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But go
Also,
ahead if you
Devin,
really
that'd
want
be the
to.
creepiest thing you've ever said in character. Well done.
She seems to have one of those faces that it's 28. I know. She looks like she could be lower 20s. However, she also looks like she could be somebody younger who looks like she's in her lower 20s.
Kane is just sighing, just like, again, bigger concerns. Who cares how old she is? She's here to help, apparently. Let's get this done.
Sun rolls her eyes. Yes, and that was also all the information as stated by her, and we're still currently on our way.
Well,
So
if
unless
you
you've
have
got
any
any
plans,
master
we should have
insight,
close.
just calm down a second, Kane, okay?
Also, I feel like someone's age is actually pretty important, especially when she's a fucking child, Kane.
She's already here. There's nothing we can do about it.
Oh,
And if you
yeah.
look over there, Alsana, the shrine is quite close, actually.
You are drawing near, and you're seeing more and more serpents in the water. You're not seeing the big clumps of swarming snakes. Not at this time. However, you see a number of larger ones kind of under the water.
Allow us to float back
Between
just a
pieces.
second.
Why?
I want to check the whole area.
Alright. Can we kind of try to get them to gather around an area that's relatively free of any tree cover or any kind of land, just to avoid anything dropping down from above?
There really isn't much space that's devoid of tree cover. The swamp
Okay.
is thickly grown.
He'll just do his best for an area free of like trunks. Then.
Okay.
So,
You have maybe a couple of moments as Alaris fends off some of the more curious
okay, a couple of moments, never mind.
Okay, yeah, if it's the full several minute casting one, you'd have to draw back some, like, the mile
Yeah,
or two.
I was expecting a bit more forewarning, but okay.
Okay.
Could we have said that it was
Yeah.
done in advance?
You know what? Sure.
Alright.
Go for it. What questions would you like to ask?
Um,
Or facts, rather.
Animals. She wants to get like a cluster map.
Yep, you got a cluster map. It's not as bad as the last time you went to the shrine, but it is bad. And somehow the little dots are registering bigger. And on the shrine island itself, there is a vibrant presence. It's a beast, but it's powerful.
There's something big back in the
Alright.
middle.
Should we
Next
be
she's going to
preparing
do peoples.
Okay. Let's see. 3 miles. Yeah, you get the clump of all of you in and around the boat. I don't think you're close enough to register the town
Don't
unless
think
it's
so.
the very fringes. Yeah, nothing else.
She hasn't pinged those like 2 or 3 she saw that one time on the way here.
Doesn't seem so.
Okay. Influence from other planes, just in case.
Okay. Nothing as distinct as a portal or even a being that belongs to a plane, but there is a faint tinge of something almost fiendish about it this time.
From the shrine.
From the shrine.
She kind of like blinks again. There's something. It's not a portal, but it feels like a fiend.
That's not good. Never felt that one before.
I think
You use your magic to keep us quiet, or do you want me to use my bow for it?
I could do that easily. She'll just do pass without trace.
Basically, does it require concentration?
It does, but you can also cast it infinitely.
Okay, I can just cast it and save concentration for now if you like.
Hey,
So that a con modifier of like +9 or something, like with the saving throw.
or she has a +3, but still, like, again, like you get that once a day. She can just do it as much as she wants, and I also don't think we're going to very sneaky into this at all in a boat.
It's more to attract fewer snakes in advance, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, she can do that.
I know. That's why I'm suggesting it.
Yeah, then she'll do it. I'm just saying you don't have to use your single one a day one. That doesn't need concentration.
That's why I was asking. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, she cast without trace.
All right. What's the stealth modifier of a boat? All right.
Good
I'm going
question.
to say that it's going to be the stealth of the people who are rowing at this time, because it's how quietly, how stealthily, how smoothly you can get the paddles into the water and out of the water. All right. So
guess that
this
was the
is
3
going
plus
to be.
gain.
Yep, I believe it is because that makes a nice 4. Let me go ahead and get their sheet so I can get some stealths. Here is.
Also, no throw a
Oh
guidance
no.
on one of them.
All right. That one was Tia. Then there's Rod and Dren that I've got to roll.
If you'll let me, I'm gonna say Tia.
Yeah, I'll let you because you did say it just then. So, oh, you already rolled. Okay, nice. I'll take that. 7 for Tia. And there's. It shouldn't be a saving throw. God damn it. It's the same
Same
number.
bonus,
It's
though.
okay. Yeah. 18, and then. Yeah, none of them are. Oops, that should not have been double advantage. It's the same number. Oh god, Dren.
Yeah, so 21, 17, 28, and 20, and 31.
Yep. I'll say you guys are actually fairly quiet. There's a moment where Tia kind of, her grip on the paddle slips, but Dren just reaches out suddenly, catches it before it can really splash into the water, and hands it back to her. And you guys slowly, silently glide through the glades and up to the small island. At a point, however, you would be noticed because some of these snakes don't seem to need eyes or ears in order to realize that someone is there. As you bump up onto the island shore, suddenly from around the main part of the shrine, you see an enormous serpent rear up its head, hissing, tasting the air, and swinging a face the size of one of these monolithic rocks towards you. And that is where we're going to go ahead and roll one more initiative with the snakes.
Oh, good, Jormungandr.
Did we short rest while I was here?
You could have had a short rest along the way, I did say. So,
Yeah, just, hold on, let me just make sure Lars sheet got that.
make sure everybody's ready.
The record also is probably about 20 feet up.
Okay. And I've got, so many initiatives to roll. Okay. Rod. Dren. And just for the sake of if she needs to move. There we go.
But Lars did a lot better health-wise in that last combat than I thought.
Good.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it topped some people off.
Oh, I know, but he had only 6 damage.
What the fuck? Well,
Ah.
you were also
That is-
holding.
He might have done his short rest beforehand. Also, he still has higher max HP than me. God,
Yeah, I don't know how.
he's got the most shrines, he's level above me.
No.
Me with my, what is it, 2,500 experience away? Sorry, 250 experience away.
Oof.
Well. Yeah.
This'll
That
do
should
it
be
for
Push
you.
a rock until I level up.
Well, I think this will work.
Descending order. Is everybody on there? It looks like they are. All right. Dren is actually up first. However, true to word, he is staying on the boat right behind Eulalia, and he's basically going to hold an action to attack anything that comes close. So, Kane, you are actually the first.
Are we considered under stealth right now?
You have just been noticed, so I'm gonna say stealth is broken.
Would I be able to do that ambush attack that the owl showed guns?
You know what? I'll say yes, because you would have been stealthed as you came up, so I'll allow one quick shot since you're top of the round.
Sure thing.
What are you aiming at?
The big one.
Alright. Deals an additional 1d6.
Boy,
All
that's
right.
like the
I'll just-
first time you've used that.
I've used it like twice. I'm just assuming the advantage because it's kind of a give rather than actual
All right.
stealth.
6 piercing damage. Okay.
And
It-
then 2 more shots at the same one.
All right. Go for it. 14 does not hit. 27 does.
Alright.
Alrighty.
I'll move my full movement after I've assuming I've taken care of the boat not drifting off.
Yep. I'll say you guys rowed the boat up to basically onto the shore as part of why they got attention, but just before it hit, you loosed that first shot.
Okay. 6. Okay, bonus action to stow and draw the rod, but it is not out and summoned yet because I cannot do that yet. And that will be all for Kane for now.
All right. With that, I've got Tia. She is going to. She's probably going to move out towards something. Yes, she can get up to that one. She looks back at Eulalia and says, Rod and Dren have got you, right? Eulalia nods. Good. I'm gonna go and, I'm gonna go fillet a snake. She charges forward. And she is going to strike out with her one-handed longsword 3 times. 17, 14, and 9 all hit this guy. 8 and 8 and 12, that's 28. As she deals a fairly hefty amount of damage by comparison to this smaller giant snake.
She actually begins filleting it.
Yep. Just starting to. Who's got Alaris?
I've got him for now.
Okay. It is Alaris' turn.
Alright, he's going to maintain for now point on the boat and take 3 shots at the snake furthest from everyone.
Sounds good.
Ty, do you happen to remember what the AC on those snakes were?
I never wrote them down, but I think 1 second.
It's like
13
13-ish.
You know that
okay.
a 14 just hit.
Okay, so 14. Ish. Okay,
I'm
so
yeah,
it's-
I'm saying that it's not 15 basically or
Okay.
higher.
So 13 or 14. They have a +2 to deck, so I don't know about natural armor though.
Okay, so yes, on that furthest, smaller of the snakes,
Mhm.
we're gonna go sharpshooter shot. See how it goes.
Definitely hits. Oh my goodness, 22 and 5, 27 on the first shot. In one shot, he does about as much damage as Tia just did in 3 blows with her sword.
Yep. And
Power
secondary
scaling.
shot.
Mm-hmm. Dear God. Yep, that definitely hits. Another 27. It's barely alive.
Okay, he's only got the 2 shots. He, as far as I know, doesn't have a bonus action he can use.
Wait, is it actually being reduced for sharpshooter?
Sorry.
Is it to hit actually being lessened from sharpshooter?
Yeah, I fixed it last time, and
So 29 out of 30. I don't think. That don't sound
yeah.
right to me.
something
That looks
happened.
perfect.
I fixed it last time. Here, I'll go and fix it, Conrad.
Even with
them,
them, even with a -5, those would still hit.
Yeah, okay, but I'm just like
I'll
a
fix the
30.
sheet.
But-
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
right.
Ty, you've got your turn. I'll fix a sheet.
I
Okay,
seem
cool.
50.
All right. So yeah, I would have done Hunter's Mark, but that's okay. Not a huge deal.
That's all right. I think he often forgets anyway.
I guess is his hex still up? Did he use it last turn? Last.
It only
fight?
lasts. It only. He recovers it. I think on. I'll check once I've done adjustment sheet.
Hex upcast.
No, yeah, hex up,
So-
dude.
So if he has 5th level or 4th
Oh,
level, it
Hex
should
Blades
be up.
curse. Okay.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
hex.
just sorry. Give me a quick second.
I don't
Okay.
think he hexed anything.
I know he didn't hex anything. I have got no markers on any of the tokens that I thankfully did not delete
Okay.
that indicate hex. So yeah, nothing got hexed.
Okay.
All
that'll
right.
be all for now. I'm just working the sheet.
Okay. The great big snake.
What's its fancy name? Come on.
Do you want to know what I wrote on the sheet?
Hmm.
Big damn snake.
Ah,
Woo!
Nice.
It is I abbreviated it and everything on certain moves, so it's gonna slither around far faster than you think the snake that size should be able to move.
a
And
big damn
it-
snake that size.
Yep. And it is going to go ahead and it's going to try to constrict Kane. 22 to hit,
God damn it. Yep.
Oh wow.
11 bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled and restrained until you either escape DC 18 or it lets go.
Alsana looks at this thing in size as she remembers seeing it in a book once, and its technical name literally translates to big damn snake, and she's angry about it.
And
Well,
for
that's-
its second attack, it is going to bite at Alaris. 26 to hit, 11 piercing damage, and a
Jesus.
Constitution saving throw against some hefty poison.
Thankfully, Coley's there.
Plus
Con
5.
Save.
Yep, just
Five,
make
good.
it. Just make it.
Just barely made it. Half that
So-
poison damage.
And half the piercing, so 5 plus 13 is 18.
However, it can only attack twice, so that is that one's turn. Calda.
You put the big damn snake right in front of the tiny damn paladin.
I did.
I was trying to write down its stats. I'm going Monster Hunter for this. Fuck it. Okay.
Nice.
Hop off the boat. Bonus
Oh, oh.
action. Vow of Enmity.
Oh, hell yes.
Go for it.
Alrighty.
Let's see Calda do what Calda does.
Numero uno. That's horrible.
It
Wow,
hit.
that may be the lowest damage I've ever
It
seen. in a
hits.
Wow, that's horrible.
Could be worse.
Oh, come on, Devin.
It hits.
I'll kill you.
A 19 does hit. All right.
That's it.
And as I do math inside my head, there we go.
Vowed.
He is vowed. What's a
Vowed
good power of enmity?
Have
It's hex.
advantage. Yeah, it's a hex.
I imagine because like Calda's whole thing is like what is like part of her paladin thing is like her family and her like marriage vows and stuff.
Yep.
It's just like the vow of enmity is like till death do you part.
It's like a wedding ring that just constricts on them and just starts tightening around the neck.
Symbolism.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. The snake kind of writhes under the blows, but it doesn't look as bloodied as things usually do once Calda gets done with them.
Fuck.
You see Eulalia starting to look a little nervous and not able to do really much of anything. She essentially takes the dodge action since there's nowhere to really disengage or run to.
I'm assuming she has her mage armor up, right?
She does have her mage armor up, so
Okay.
she's... Yeah, it does last 8 hours. She put it up before that first altercation.
Just wanted to make sure.
She is less squishy than she might be otherwise. However, she's still going to take that dodge action as she kind of braces herself at the bottom of the boat and steadies herself and keeps her eyes up on the snake, waiting to see if it does anything towards her. In the meantime, Rod is gonna... You know what? He's gonna dart forward and he's gonna try and punch this thing a couple times. So that's a 1, 2... Miss, miss, miss! Oh no! As his fists and feet
Damn.
just bounce off of the hardened scales, he curses a little.
No, that's
And
a really
jump.
big root.
The snake does not follow because it has a longer range than just 5 feet. Alsana, what nonsense do you have planned?
I'm just going to go ahead and do an old favorite. Yeah, I'll upcast.
Ah, okay. The actual old favorite.
Yep.
Sounds good. Now, there's nowhere you can hit multiple things, so I'm gonna guess it's just on the BDS.
Yeah, baby, on the those. That's a tag somewhere that you don't want it to be.
That's an acronym.
Wait, no.
Yes, on the extra large python.
God damn. Alright.
Extra large python is not better than
I know, that's why I said it.
That's worse.
Oh, Ariel, pure of heart and clean of mind.
Good to know that I have apparently ruined something. Alright. So that's a dexterity saving throw on that guy. Doop-a-doop-doop-doo. Oh, he just
Aha.
barely misses.
All right.
I'm gonna move to the place that Kane's not gonna be struck.
I don't know. You're pretty sassy back there. No.
Mhm.
I'm also gonna drop 4 sights on it.
Okay, go for him. That's lightning splits the sky, and some of it looks oddly scythe-shaped in the brief moment where it graces your eyeball.
So-
Okay, but lightning that arcs. Instead of arcs, the scythe sounds really awesome.
Oh yeah, no.
Mhm.
There's a rumble in the cloud in the sky, and there's a figure with a scythe in there, like
Haha.
like the back silhouette of one.
All right. Anything else on your turn?
She's just gonna float over to here.
Alrighty.
Maintaining the probably 20 feet of range this stupid thing has.
Okay. We've got some snakes coming up. That one fits right in there.
Uh-oh.
Actually, yeah, he's gonna go up a bit so that he can just.
Yeah. That's a lot of snake.
Yeah, it's a lot of snake. This one cannot quite get the cane, and it is very disappointed in that fact. So it's gonna dash to get a little closer. And kind of from off to the side, you hear the sound of something slipping through the water to the north. As 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, appearing from beneath all of the murk and algae, danger noodle, Olive Garden,
That's all you can do.
comes another of the serpents, not able to actually reach anything. But there. Alright, now, certain things can attack.
Fuck.
Let's see.
I hate this Olive Garden.
This one's got a couple of options. I'm gonna say... I'm gonna roll a d6. No, wait. I need an odd thing because there's a slightly lower chance of him going for Eulalia. 1d5, basically. On a 5, it goes for Eulalia. 1 and 2 for Dren. 3 and 4 for Rod. Poor Rod. Alright.
Not again. Not
Mhm.
again.
Not again! Rod is gonna get bit at. And... what's his armor class? That hits. You know, this poor guy. Alright, the other one is gonna go for Calda, and it's gonna go for a constrict attack. That misses.
Yeah, fucking does.
Yep. And then the one over there is
Powerful
gonna
muscles.
try to constrict on Tia, and that misses because she is in good armor and has a shield. Alright, that is it for all of those. It is Dren's turn, and he's got an opportunity. There's something right here to hit. So, let's see. Oh, he misses. And he hits the second one, though, for 10 slashing damage. Alright, he looks incredibly frustrated by this fact. Kane, you're up.
Oh, disarming. I get it, because he doesn't have an arm.
What a fuck.
I made that joke last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did I. I think everyone's made a disarming joke by this point.
Guys, the joke is I just got it now extra late. Come on.
Alright, whatever.
Kane, you're up. What do you want to do? You got a snake on each side, and they're both way too big for anything.
Yep. Okay. Can you remind me really fast? If the creature is incapacitated, is it able to maintain restraining me?
I think that it... Until the grapple ends. Usually grapples end if incapacitation happens, so probably. Probably it'll end.
Okay. In that case, Kane will bonus action summon up the mace disadvantage and make an attack on large snake noodle.
All right.
It'll roll at some point, I'm sure. There we go.
Okay.
Does an 18 hit?
Let me see. As I get the right sheet open. Yeah, an 18 hits.
Alright, in that case. Paralyze.
Interesting. Okay.
Strength saver.
I might as well try.
There we go. All right. Strength saving throw. Paralyzed for 1 minute. Okay, if you're hoping that this counts as incapacitation and therefore no more grapple, that one's going to be a bit of a harder sell just because of the flavor of if it paralyzes while gripping you, that might not go very well. Okay? For your sake of you escaping. Are you sure? We lost Conrad.
Fuck.
Huh.
I'm gonna Google that real quick while we're waiting. Actually,
Sorry, I cut out there. Can you say it again, Ariel?
Devin is going to do a quick Google to see if paralyzing something that's grappling you lets you auto-escape from the grapple. Because flavor-wise, it feels like it shouldn't. Basically, if
Okay,
something
my logic
is...
because it can't move to adjust the grapple. Is my logic.
That might be what makes sense. Let's see if there's an official ruling. I think Devin is doing a search.
yeah, I'm checking. I'm just first checking. Paralyzed, incapacitated, restraining, exhaustion. Grapple. Grappled. Creature speed becomes 0. Condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. See condition.
Okay. Flat out. All right. So if paralyzed incapacitates, then we'll go with it.
Yep.
So, strength saving throw. That's a 23. It does not get paralyzed.
Okay, figured as
It's-
much.
Good to know, though, for the future.
5 plus 5, everyone.
Yeah, worth it.
Oh, yep, we know.
Alright, Alright, so second attack, just gonna do a... Yeah, I'll do another mace attack. And with that one...
Okay. The mace attack definitely hits. And it does not seem scared of you.
Okay, good to know. And a final one. Hold on. There it is. Mace. Does a 15 hit?
15 does not hit. That one just bounces off of the scales.
Right, in that case, that will be all. Did Kane any lack of effectiveness on this damage or no?
Sorry, what was it?
Did Kane notice any lack of effectiveness with the damage or no?
It seems that a lot of this is not hitting... It's not doing as much raw damage as you would usually expect,
Okay,
even
good
with
to
a magical weapon. This thing has scales that are almost rock solid, maybe more so.
How'd the lightning hit him then?
The lightning seemed to scorch him pretty damn good.
Alright.
Alright, I assume that is it. Tia kind of looks back at Snakes converging on Eulalia, swears a little bit under her breath, and is gonna try to make quick work of this one. Yeah, those all hit. 8 and 8 and 9, 16 and 9, 25. It is still up. Not doing great, but still up.
Which one is
Elaris.
she hitting at? The one bottom right one?
Yeah, she's hitting this one right here that she's in front of.
Okay.
It is Elaris' turn.
Yep. Alaris is going to. Sorry, I was checking something. Yeah, he's going to Hexblade's Curse the big snake.
Okay.
And he's actually going to make 2 attacks on the snake that is in contact with that red hair girl. I can't remember.
Eulalia. Yep, right there. Okay.
And I fixed the numbers for this too. By the way.
13 hits.
All right. And
8 + 5. And 16 hits. And how does he want to do that one?
in true fashion, I like to imagine it's a very aggressive staple bottom jaw to top jaw.
Okay. Alright, just as it lunges down towards the party in the boat, just right through the mouth. And it is snapped shut forever. Okay, anything else on his turn? Okay. It is the big snake's turn. And oh, it's got some options. Kane is still restrained.
Mm-hmm.
It's got advantage on this attack against him.
Yep.
And it is going to bite. 23 to hit, 16 piercing. Con save, please.
Might if I just see the second attack too? Just
All right.
to do a math.
It'll do you again. There we go.
So yeah, I'll just roll twice. Sorry, those are it's my turn.
Ah, I forgot about a thing that it has.
Uh-oh.
Is that thing a swallow?
Nope. Nope, it's not a swallow. Anyway, you take all of that poison damage. But
Sorry,
I'm not
this
going
shouldn't
to...
be a disadvantage.
Oh.
This should be
Okay.
19 for the first, and
That
yeah,
succeeds.
second one is a fail though.
Okay. So half the 15, but the full 19 on the second. And don't worry about the thing I forgot. I'm just going to, I forgot it, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. So,
I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Oh,
Calder, your turn.
I'm fucking hit it.
Okay, hit it.
I'm fucking hit it.
Mhm.
Motherfucker 1. Fuck. Motherfucker 2.
There we go.
There
I
we
was
go.
waiting.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Let's turn
I'm
this
going to do
monster
math
into
in the
salad.
meantime.
Is it a fiend?
No, it is not.
Okay, cool. I'll roll the other 48 then.
That's a fun one. That's fun to
Here you go.
Good
Okay.
Lord, Calder.
What is 13 plus 9 is 22.
22,
Okay.
29, 34,
7, 5,
59, 73. 83, sorry.
Somehow I'm getting something higher.
It's possible. I'm not counting the first attack.
Oh, okay. Yep. All right. That was a big chunk of damage.
Yep.
However, it's going to go ahead and use its reaction
Hot.
to attack Calda back
Cool.
in retaliation.
Cool. Come at me, bitch.
Yep, no advantage, just 26 to hit. Mhm.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Con save her? Okay.
Yep.
Come on, Calda. You got this, bitch.
It's
No,
like
you
that when got a
don't.
+10, it's
No,
still
you
not
don't,
really
Calda.
Yep, 12 poison damage. It rolled low. Small
So,
mercy.
12 plus 12 is 24.
Mhm.
Cool. Thanks for doing that before my bonus action.
Mhm.
Myself.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah, save the concentration check, might as well.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Eulalia is going to dodge action again and hope that no more snakes come close. Rod is gonna do his best.
That's all he can.
He's gonna try.
Do a punchy.
This isn't. Now he's hitting.
Hey.
Okay,
Oh,
Yes,
jeez, he's
Rod.
done his damage.
Yes, Rod.
now
26
he's doing it.
damage,
Okay.
32 damage.
Ha. Okay. After bouncing ineffectively off of the really big snake, he decides to maybe take a target that's
Punch only
It's a little
slightly
more
above his weight
manageable.
class.
Exactly his expectations.
Yes. And proceeds to just batter the snake about. If you can imagine somebody like boxing a snake, like the head goes one way, the head goes the other way, uppercut, the head flies upwards.
Oh,
Basically,
that's
he
so
just did
anime,
that.
I love it.
Punching bags that like keep going
Do a
back and
Dempsey
forth.
roll!
Fucking,
Alsana.
fucking jet engine noises start going. All right. How about this happy little corner right here?
Okay, that looks like a happy little corner. That's 2 dexterity saving throws. Give me the
That
damage, please.
is, as I scroll up to
There's
find it.
Big guy succeeds. And the smaller big guy also succeeds, so going to be halved. Oh. Oh. Alright, 9
That's impressive.
halved is 5. Bzzzt. Like a little joy buzzer in the corner.
Yep. Bonus action. Going to.
How's Kane looking?
That was a pretty chunky hit.
All right. You get a second level.
Yeah, most of my health here is doubled anyways, like barbarians, so I will gladly take that.
Does Ulsan feel like she's in range of this thing over here?
How high up are you flying? You said 20?
Yeah, 20 feet.
Probably not.
Probably not in range, or
Probably
not out
not.
of range.
Probably not in range. They can probably rear to about 10 feet up and then have a 5-foot like lunge reach, so that would be 15. You're just outside of their
Alright.
that guy's range.
She's just gonna load on over. Actually,
Okay.
not there, not that way. Over to there.
Okay. Sounds good. And with that, these guys' turn. That one is gonna get up close. Let's see, right about there. Looks good. So we're gonna have. No, you know what? Elaris isn't picked on enough.
Yeah.
It's his turn. There's gonna be one on Elaris, one on Caldo, one on Kane, and then one over here on Tia that is not gonna be too much of a worry for you guys. So, let's go with a constrict on Calda.
Go for it. Nope.
A constrict on Elaris. Oh, that's gonna
Yes.
hit.
Yeah, that. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
He is now restrained.
Yep, let me just
and
check
very
some
bludgeoned.
of that.
Mhm.
Okay. 24,
And-
right?
Yep.
Okay.
And then
Wow.
a bite at advantage on a restrained Kane. 25 to hit. 8 piercing.
We have
And then an ordinary constrict over there on Tia that does not hit.
He is doing pretty
Alright.
good.
Fairly. Dren is. He's actually going to stay rooted and he's going to stay looking out over the water this way. He's going to call back, "You guys have this, right?"
I
Kane.
really appreciate a hand. And
Was
Kane's
that
going to
intentionally stated?
yes,
As you say, from under the snake.
I'm going to bonus action switch to the Flame Tongue Greatsword.
Alright.
And does it take an action to break that grapple?
Yes, it does.
Athletics check?
To attempt to break the grapple.
Athletics or acrobatics, whichever you prefer.
I think just maybe I'll go with athletics.
You do not. Should that still be at disadvantage?
Let me check if restrain causes disadvantage on ability checks.
Ambition's
I think
open
it's
right
just
now.
attacks.
Yeah. Disadvantage on dex saves.
Yeah, just like saves you have
Yeah.
disadvantage on.
Yep, okay. That should
Yeah.
be a 9.
Much higher.
24.
14 plus 5. Yeah, you successfully escape. You are no longer restrained.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to action surge because screw this thing.
Ha, okay.
And let's have a bit of fun with this. So no more disadvantage. Waiting for the thing to update. There we go. Alright, so Flame Tongue Greatsword first attack. If it'll roll.
Eventually.
Less background noise.
It's alright. Okay, that deals damage. Okay, so.
Okay.
And,
Position ally on what's their name? The monk.
Rod?
Rod, yes.
Yep, just so they can get at a range of one of the snakes.
Rod's wanting
Rod
to stay in front of it.
actually, yeah, Rod
Yeah,
actually
just
is not
give them
gonna.
the option.
If anything, he might just scoot boop, right there, in order to
Sure.
attack the one that's currently more threatening to Eulalia.
Sure nothing. In that case, second one, I'm going to do. Hold on, I have to check the writing of one of the abilities. Within 5 feet and within my range. Damn it. Okay. In that case, I'm going to do one more attack
All right, that hits.
and one last attack.
That does not hit.
Okay. And Kane is going to move just to right there. Still within range of both of the snakes.
Nope. The smaller one does not have a 10-foot reach. Oh no, wait, it does. No, I'm sorry. It does have a bite. I was looking at constrict. It does. You're fine. You're fine.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, and that's
My
action,
mistake.
bonus action movement, plus action surge, so I think that's everything.
All right. With that, Tia's gonna. We're real tired of the snake. I'm pretty sure that it had. Yeah, it's dead now. And at that point, she is going to. She's gonna run back this way because that's a problem. And she's gonna try to whittle down the snake right there with the other 2 attacks. Yeah, those both hit. 19. Okay. Ilaris' turn. What do you like him to do?
Alaris is going to first Misty Step,
Okay, yes.
just
Phoom.
over to right there.
Straight out of restraint. Yep.
25, good. Okay. And then on the Hexblade's curse target, let me just make sure I'm not forgetting an ability. Okay, so this is 3 bonus damage to each of the rolls. And I need to check if I roll 19s on any of these. Okay.
I'll hover over for you.
All right. The first one hits. Save the second one because that misses. As how does he want to do it on that first hit? Just barely enough.
Big snake?
On the big snake. On the
Oh,
biggest
hell
snake
yes.
there is.
Ooh.
Okay, he will happily basically just, probably, like, shoot it through the back of the head, because it was aiming the other way, and the jaw is just kind of plastered to the front of the hull of the ship.
All right. However, there's going to be something fun.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
good to know.
As everybody within 10 feet, each creature, including these other 3 big snakes, I need a dexterity saving throw as this enormous serpent suddenly starts to whiplash its impressive bulk all around the area.
What's going on? I just got back.
Yeah.
The
Snake
is
dead.
But it is flipping its shit all whenever it dies.
Alright.
So, it's only those within 10 feet, including the other 3 snakes, so let me just do those real quick. Oh, yep, they all take 22 bludgeoning damage, friendly fire.
Everyone around Calder get a +5. Calder, what the fuck, dude?
That one
She
gets
just really
absolutely
doesn't make sense.
crushed. Alright, and then I've got Rod and Tia having to make these dex saves. So, Rod fails, Tia succeeds. Because of
+5.
force. Oh, okay.
Brady gets a +5 to it as well.
In that case, he succeeds. Just barely. Alright, 11 instead of 22. That's good. Okay, as this thing thoroughly smashes the area, some of those stones standing at the edge of the path actually get knocked over. A tree is splintered. It is
Oh, dear.
immense. Calda,
Okay.
pick yourself up. You weren't knocked prone, but you basically pick yourself up, steady yourself. What would you like to do?
Let's hit the snake to the left. To the left, to the left. 1. Come on, boys. Oh, that's oh wait, that hits.
That hits, and that's enough.
Oh fuck. Okay,
It was
this is
barely
gonna be our
alive.
next one.
Okay, you scoot over,
Move there.
and yep, that hits. for 8 and 3 and 8 is 19.
19. Yep.
Just barely what it had left.
I'm so sorry.
How do you want to finish those last two off?
Just like walking by, a snake fucking explodes. Pick herself up, just walks over. Both snakes dead.
All right.
Today is the day you learn to fear the mother.
With that, it goes still. But you don't know how long that's going to last.
Kane just kind of stands up and brushes himself off like, everyone off the boat.
Rod jumps down. Eulalia kind of scrambles over. Dren does a jump and splash into the water and then slogs ashore.
Good. Alaris, if you don't mind, could you keep an eye while standing on the boat just in case something's approaching it? I'll just
And he does so.
shift Alaris up. There we go.
Yep.
And Kane gestures towards the shrine and says, "You have as long here as we can defend this place to figure something. Go."
Noted. Also, I was going to cast Detect Magic.
All right. You pick up on the usual gear. Tia's sword seems faintly magical. Dren's axe also faintly glimmers. Rod doesn't seem to have much on him. Of course, Eulalia has the necklace. But I assume that you're checking for anything underground.
Yes.
All right. In about the same spot as was last buried, maybe a little bit further back, more against the bluffs, you pick something up.
So walk right over there. All right, who has a shovel?
Sorry, it takes me a second. Kane just like spear throws her one next to her.
Looks over. Dren maybe?
Dren, what?
Shovel? Help? Dig?
He crosses
She's
his
got
arms.
like pool noodles.
And why am I doing your dirty work?
Because we're helping you along here and making sure you don't get killed by snakes.
And because frankly you couldn't get your way out of here if I you, so I'd suggest you go dig.
He shoots you a almost venomous glare in its own right. And then
You sure? She's had
Eulalia,
enough venom lately.
Eulalia kind of very gently pokes a hand on his shoulder, very tentatively. Maybe just the once? This better be a bonus in pay. And he stalks forward, snatches up the shovel, and starts to dig.
Also, don't mind Kane. He's been snappier than a crocodile recently.
Lady, I don't know who you are to give me advice.
She just kind of smiles. I give pretty good advice. You should try it sometime.
Make like a bat and fly into a tree.
I want to save those for today. But she'll walk back.
After a moment, Dren digs something up, rises on the point of the shovel, and he deposits it on the ground next to it, the hole he just dug. Another small, shallow hole, hastily dug and buried, it seems. He pokes at the thing with the tip of his shovel. That's what you wanted?
Yep, I believe that's it. Alsana wants to give a look at it.
All right. It's not carved, not like those others. Those were solid wood. They were shaped. This looks very, very roughly fashioned out of vines and roots twisted into a serpentine shape, braided together. It is very much a rough job.
Craftsmanship seems to be going downwards. She turns it in her hands.
Eulalia kind of edges forward with the other two following and flanking her. Can I see?
Depends. Can you recognize handiwork of a particular other enchanters?
Oh, no. Honestly, Uncle Ben had it carved by one craftsman and enchanted by another. It wasn't a woodcarver enchanter combination effort exactly. Um,
Just a question. How long has your uncle had his little trinket?
uh, I don't know. Um, a year, maybe a little less.
Alrighty. Whoever's making those is probably getting a little bit better at it. Don't you think, Osana?
No, it's. I might have an idea for getting more information, but that'll be once I've recovered my magic a bit. For this, she's going to just go ahead and cast Identify on it,
All right.
or once a day.
Yep. It is once again something that calls serpents, but this time it seems a little bit different. It seems more less a call to serpents in general, at least not to this specific location, though they probably felt some of the echoes, and that's why you came across all of those varieties on the outside. But big, powerful. It seems that um, the enchantment has gotten just a little bit more specific in those certain aspects. It's pretty much the same enchantment, but with a slight variation.
Oh, well, it seems this is tuned to only bring the big, mean ones.
Can that one get disabled too?
Can it?
This one doesn't seem to come with that easy off switch. It's less refined in a lot of ways. Focused for power, but not so much for control.
No, but it can go in the bag.
That's exactly
There we
what I was-
go.
Also, I can guarantee
And-
this wasn't here last time.
Say that again.
Can you guarantee this thing wasn't here last time we just missed it?
She thinks. I'm pretty sure I used the same magic. Could you check, like, the area, see if there's any, like, almost like a survival check?
Sure, go ahead and try survival.
Guidance herself. I haven't. Ah. 18.
The place it was buried wasn't it wasn't as fresh as, oh, it was just dug up and buried, etc., like yesterday or anything. You can't quite pinpoint with an 18 exactly how long ago this was done. However, you are sure, just looking through your memories of the previous time, this probably wasn't here before, because you would have picked up on it with the detect magic spell. It's close to where the first was buried, but not so close as to be masked by it, not so far as to be out of your range of your spell.
Also, she'd probably imagine that those giant snakes would be more frequent here last time.
Probably.
She looks it back. Well, if it was here last time, it wasn't magical at the point. That is to say, no, I would have seen
So
it.
there's intent.
It's a repeat.
So it implies intent.
I
Does
think
that-
the entire burying implies intent from the first one.
Just, but that implies intent to draw snakes, not just intent to bury it. And something's going to be magical.
She
inside.
rolls her eyes. I'm sorry, did you think someone was putting it to rest?
No, but I'm confirming that someone is here to kill.
First one could be just a freaked out magic item. The person hastily found this, buried it. This is the second one. A little bit more proof. I think we should camp here. Watch and see if they come again.
That's-
They probably are frequenting it. They probably could be close enough to notice that the first one was gone.
I think
If
they'll just
we-
notice the lack of snakes in the area.
That too. That's probably what got them the first time and got them making that so quickly.
So, what was that, Eulalia?
If we're staying here, do you mind if I take a few water samples, soil samples? I want to see if magic is seeped in.
Not up to me. Okay?
Don't do it near the shrine, but you can do it near the.
On the Shrine's Island?
Yeah, on the island, just not directly beneath the stones.
Ah, it's a shame. That's probably the strongest part, but alright, I'll do what I can. Might not be much right away, but I could probably take so many notes on just things locally. Uh,
Excuse me one second.
plant life.
Sana is going to pull Kane aside.
Okay. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna look. I won't touch. And she's just gonna very pointedly put her hands behind her back, clasp them, and just start walking a little circle, looking up at the stones, the lamp vines, and the trees.
Okay, I understand the general over-under of what you're trying here, but I need the specifics. What are you worried
Elaborate,
about?
please.
What do you not want her taking? What do you think the actual risk is?
General protectiveness.
If it's blind protectiveness, then Kane, I can't exactly stand by it.
Your business with you, stop. You don't
Mike's
know
really
whether
bad,
this is
dude. I'm sorry.
Sorry. It's not really your business whether it's something you can agree with. You don't live here. This isn't your shrine. It's not particularly mine either, so instead I'm doing my best to preserve it as best as possible. Call it historical preservation.
I'm well aware
way-
of the concept, Kane.
Then how about this? I don't trust it. So until I do, I'll allow her to take from the island. I'm not going to let her take it directly from the shrine. A, for fear you'll do something to mess with the magic. B, because I generally don't like the idea of those stones being moved. C, in case the fact that every time we have a snake charm buried here, it's begun to seep into the dirt and might begin to affect her further, charm or not.
Can Sana
So-
roll an Arcana check?
Go
It's
ahead.
irrelevant whether or not it's reasonable. It's Kane's mind.
No, no, it is relevant to her.
Okay, but Kane,
Eh.
Kane doesn't know whether or not it works or not.
No, but she wants to know what does and doesn't make sense. 19.
19. In theory, that very powerful magical objects can begin to have an effect on environments if they stay there long enough. You actually are carrying one right now, though you've never used it, the modified Wand of Wonder.
Mhm.
You found it buried in a place, and it was having some ambient magical effects on the area around it. However, that being said, the snake charms probably are not A, powerful enough, B, entrenched enough for it to actually have an active effect on this area, especially seeped as it is in natural magic of its own. It would take a lot to overpower and start to color this.
So
That being said, he's not completely off base with the core concept of magical thing in a place. Place starts to pick up like seepage from the magical thing.
once again, I understand where you're coming from, but those charms are nowhere near enough to overpower what this shrine has here.
Then congratulations, we know the shrine is already magical. Who cares where she gets a sample from? It's magical.
Alright, then what's your issue?
I've told you my issues. Those are it. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to like them.
No, but I feel like you have to understand that there are people who understand magic better than you. And as such, their opinions are probably useful in keeping this place safe.
Then if you would like to take a soil sample, I trust you enough to do it. I don't trust her enough. Do it in a way that's not going to be a problem. You can do it. Not her. Don't care.
And what problem do you think she poses?
I'm not smart enough to know. I'm just smart enough to know that I don't trust her.
Then
I'm willing to trust
understand
that instinct.
that anything she does here, while we're watching her, is nothing that's going to threaten this place. The only thing that can threaten it is if she comes back. And I believe that's more your territory.
Yes. So, like I said, don't care. If you want to take the soil sample and give it to her, I trust you not to screw it up. She's some sort of fledgling rich girl magician who thinks she knows enough about magic to try and fix a problem that's been going on for a bit now. Okay? The charm came from her household. She might know the person who brought it here. So if you want to be the researcher and you want to lead the expedition, please go ahead. I would rather you do it than her. I can't not bring her back here, because unfortunately I had to bring her here in the first place. Because she actually has some sort of knowledge, and I'm not starting to figure it out on my own. So, you want to do
And
it?
now I'm
Please go ahead.
here. I'll watch over
Yes.
her. I'll make sure everything works fine. All right?
I would much rather you do it by your hand with her instruction. I cannot stress how much I do not trust her.
Right. You... Look, I don't... From what she said and what she stated thus far, which shall we also recognize that I am better at getting a beat on people than you, yes?
Oh, never mind, that's why I brought you here.
As such, I've seen nothing from her that belies any malice or ill intent. The best she has is a curiosity, and a fear of snakes, and a overconfidence or want for adventure.
You misunderstand me then. I don't think she has malice. I think she has ignorance, and I think that's far more dangerous here. If she has malice, I could cut her head off and be done with this.
Then understand that I aim to correct ignorance.
Right. This is not the place to do it. Don't mess up my shrine.
It's not your shrine.
Then don't mess up my home. How about that?
Watch that way of thinking, Kane. I look to guard these explicitly for people who see it as their own.
Yes,
Just keep that in
and that's
mind.
why I'm trusting you to do this, not her.
I would like
She's a
to trust
researcher.
you here, alright?
Then please.
So just be careful about saying my shrine. That's all. She just turns and walks.
Can't answer.
All
It's
right.
not going to stop her.
All right, you get close. Eulalia turns around, takes one hand from behind her back to point up. Would I be able to take one of the flowers, or should I take one from? She points further up the way, and then turns and looks and sees the stones closest to the boat, all knocked over and tangled up in dead snake body, with the lamp vines crushed, and goes, "Oh, regardless,
What are you, if I ask, what are you researching exactly?
I I
Because I
don't
can just
really.
outright confirm for you right now, yes, this place is a very, very large wellspring of magic.
I mean, I'd still like to see what kind of effects it might have. I mean, already white lamp vine is pretty rare. It it could occur naturally, but um,
She's just
I
nodding and
I
listening.
don't know. I just want to see what I can find. This could be so much if it has something to do with ley lines, like I've always thought. Um, I really, I half expected not to find anything. So now that I have, I don't know where to start.
Okay, a better question then. What's the end goal of your research? Is it your own curiosity, or are you looking to get published or something?
Oh, mostly my own curiosity. I am not much of a writer. Uh, if I wrote anything, it'd be in my own little journal, and that would just be for me because, uh,
Then
well,
I'll be straightforward with you.
I,
We
mhm.
have worries about too much information getting out about this place.
Mhm.
It is a wellspring, yes. And
All
as you
right.
can see, there are people who are set to abuse that. As she kind of like kicks the hole in the ground.
Oh,
I very much understand the want for personal curiosity. And as well, if you so wish, we could return here another day. I could come with you. I could make it a very quick and instant trip. Or we could just simply float above some of the icky, slithery bits. But for right now, we're looking to dealing with the whoever is wanting to abuse this.
I understand that. As just, I can take an oath of secrecy. I can I'll get a new journal. I'll write everything in some kind of code. I'll run it by you first if you'd like. If not code, then at the very least I can make specifics really murky.
There's like a smile on her face, like, have you done something like this before?
Not really. I'm just kind of guessing at what you'd like based on things I've read. Um, they always use codes, right? Spy books and everything.
So, I have just met you recently. From first impressions, I love you, but I'm,
Seems a little early for that. No offense.
I like things about you. Don't
Oh,
worry, I'm a bit spoken for already. But
oh,
you
good.
are magical, you are curious, you're looking for knowledge. These are all very admirable aspects. So, put it lighter, then you've made a very good first impression on me. That said, I still want to understand a bit more about who Eulalia is and what makes her up. So, to that end, before I go trusting you with a bit of sensitive research, we can deal with the more pressing matters at hand. Yes?
Um, which pressing matters?
Finding the origins of these totems and
Okay.
what exactly made the original ones go missing from your household in the first place.
All right.
Those are people on the move. Those are things that they could be getting caught up in. I'm very much sure you wouldn't like to think this Seth has anything to do with this. But in the possibility that it is, then there could be some unfavorable circumstances Seth may have found himself in. A bit in over his head, perhaps. I'm sure you know the feeling.
Maybe.
This opportunity won't pass you by. Okay?
That better be a promise.
Hmm.
It's got the feeling this is almost once in a lifetime. I'm not sure if I'm ever gonna find anything like this again.
Well, I could get you. She thinks for a sec. There is a opportunity. We can always talk more, but I might have a way for you to get more in line with ones like yourself. Curious, interested, magic users, researchers, ones who want to go out in the world and feel a bit of adventure, do some things.
Um, it sounds interesting, but to be realistic, I'm hoping to basically learn what I can, and get back home and hopefully not be locked up inside the house until I'm old and gray.
Well, I don't mean just on this one single trip. Like I said, I can get places very quickly.
I mean, that sounds interesting. Teleportation?
Nods.
Hmm.
So, if all goes well, and you are to help us deal with this issue, because we very much do not want these snakes to continue coming here.
Yeah, no,
We would be very grateful to you. I would be very grateful to you, and I could perhaps, at a point, come and visit your hometown, and I could perhaps then be freely able to come visit you, and perhaps bring you to really anywhere in this country.
she kind of gives this grimacing look. No offense, but you stroll up to home and hmm. Yeah, I think the locking up till old and gray is just gonna happen automatically.
I think think there's quite a bit I need to learn about you first then, but that can be for another time. What is your what is your research-based opinion then on these things? And she kind of like turns the actually the dough wouldn't be in there, but she'll take out like the off other one.
Yep. Let's say there's the carved one, and then there's the woven one.
All right, yeah, that'll work. Yeah, she'll take out the carved totem.
Well, again, they're prototypes. They aren't meant to be super powerful. I'm gonna guess that this thing might have given a little bit of a boost. I'm not really sure how that works. I'd have to probably figure out some way to test it. Not exactly sure how I'd go about that. Have you noticed any stronger spell casting in your instantaneous spells while in this area outside of others?
Has
Mechanically, you haven't.
Yeah.
Mechanically, no.
I guess flavor-wise, has she?
Uh,
Arcana check.
roll an Arcana check. All right. I'll say that looking back on it, it's almost like the magic comes slightly easier. Not in an appreciable way. But it feels just a little more natural.
She thinks for a second. In the way that maybe being on a slightly higher elevation leaves you ever so slightly shorter of breath. Not noticeable, but it could be there.
Maybe there's a difference between instantaneous magic and magic that builds over time, magic that accumulates or remains, or...
She
Oh,
thinks.
I don't know how to figure this out.
I think you have something, but okay.
I can't think of anything. I can't think of any way to test it other than to set up such an effect or item or something in one location that's not here, away from here, and see how long it takes to build to a certain power, and then set up something here and see how long it takes. But it would have to be very similar, and the conditions would have to be just right for both. Yeah, not snakes.
Really, you seem to like them so much.
Oh, I love them so much. Yes, I can just sit with them and pet them and cuddle them all day. Yep, that is absolutely what I would like to do.
I mean, have you heard of exposure therapy?
It sounds like a terrible idea.
Okay. Well then. Do you have any... You wouldn't happen to have on you anything that belonged to Seth, would you?
No.
How are you on art?
Art?
Drawing.
I can make a stick figure.
I would like to, if possible, perhaps look in on your friend magically. It becomes easier if I have more to go on.
The description is about all I can do for that, I think. Really, I would not trust my drawing skills to get you anything accurate. Believe me, I've tried.
So I'll look like to the rest of the group and like, how about the rest of you? The Mercs, how are you on drawing and art?
Oh, they never met him.
No, but description.
Dren grunts and
Asana.
shakes his head. And roll me 2d20.
Also, how quickly could you teach someone to create a minor image, like illusion or something like
Tia slightly raises a hand but then lowers it and says, I can more or less draw something if it's right in front of me.
Description would be a bit rougher.
Yeah. and I can't promise accuracy even in that case. Sorry.
All right.
Did your teacher just summon an image through magic, Osama?
Just think for a sec. Not in particular. That's not one that's exactly in my wheelhouse. Unless you think a pile of leaves could arrange themselves in a particular likeness. Alright. I think we should at least sit down and camp down for the evening.
Sure.
I can get some of my magic back. And in the morning I can look in on this Seth.
Are you able to make some kind of like trap or sensor with magic so if someone comes by here, you'll know?
Not exactly. Although I do intend to ask nature now and again if any new people happen across this area.
Alright, just give me a quick second. Is anyone gonna need to go to the center of the shrine in the next day or two?
Say that again?
Is anyone gonna need to step up to the center of the shrine in the next day or two that you can foresee?
I think we can avoid whatever you intend on setting up.
Just a small little trick. Hopefully it'll work. It'll work even after we leave, so. And
Good.
Kane's basically just going to set up a small wire trap to knock over a couple of stacked stones if anyone happens to trip it. Just so we know someone came there.
Okay. About where would you like to set this up? Just assuming everybody is out of the way and not going to interfere. And
Basically encircling the center part of the shrine and wherever those two separate holes were.
okay. So basically, just kind of doop, doop, doop. More or less that.
Yeah, maybe an extra 5-foot radius if he's got the string for it. But yeah,
Hmm.
in general. It's not meant to be like a destructive trap.
How much string do you actually have? Because that's a good
I have a magical bag that I can pull whatever I need out of.
Roll a d20.
Alright.
For quantity of string, basically.
Average amount.
Average amount. How much is in a ball of string from one of those packs?
If you do the silk rope from the sailor's pack, it's 50 feet, which I also have 50 feet of.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually 50 feet, though.
I'm thinking more of the burglar's pack. It's got a ball of string. I don't know if it has a length
I think
on
it's
it,
50.
though.
Hold on.
And I'm going to look it up just in case, because if it's more, then you'll benefit. If not, then we'll have to look around that.
String.
10 feet of string.
10 feet. Okay.
Yeah. I'll say that on an 11, you basically got half of the rope, so you've got 25 feet of string.
Okay.
So
Keep
with that in
his
mind,
silk
where
rope.
would you like to... okay.
Yeah, I got silk rope just give the extra distance. Probably let them sit in the muck for a little while to disguise the color.
All right.
And then just, again, it's as low to the ground as it can be within reason to be tripped by a foot.
Okay. So you have set up your alert trap.
Mhm.
Okay. But no, seriously, can I, take one blossom off a lamp vine up here?
I suppose so.
Right. You like people using magic? You probably are gonna like this. It's my one last trick.
She raises an eyebrow.
1 second, I gotta get her. Shuts her eyes, takes a deep breath, and kind of does the motions that you recognize, mumbles something, and you see a little spectral mage hand shimmer shakily into existence, and then go up, pluck a lamp vine, and bring it back down to her.
Huh.
Well, that's about it for me.
Oh, but you could...
Okay, why exactly would you get locked up if I came anywhere near your household?
Oh, you
'Cause
just
you
look
look like a
scary.
devil.
Really?
I might not put it that way. Um. Ah.
I look like a witch. Don't worry, dear. I try.
Okay. Well, I guess as
In that
long as
case,
it's intentional.
don't be
Um.
surprised when people are startled of you.
Well, it's one thing startled, and it's another to.
You know
She's a
what?
pretty little princess.
Startled.
She gets good
I
treatment.
almost resent that. Startled is actually a pretty good way of putting it. The locking up may have been hyperbole on my part, to be really fair. However, uh, let's just say to some people's tastes, mainly an older generation perhaps, uh, you might not incite very much confidence.
You don't have to be subtle. She intentionally scares the shit out of villagers wherever she goes.
I say
That
hello to them, and they happen to scream in response, and that's just a
And then
happy accident.
and then you psychoanalyze them, find out their secrets, stalk them home, occasionally startle them when they're on a watch post.
The stalking
Uh,
home was once, and that's because he screwed me on a game of cards.
I rest my point. Just be thankful she hasn't struck you with lightning yet.
All right, no offense. No matter how much you like me, how much you're nice to me, you're not coming to my house, okay?
You talking to me or her?
Um, will you take offense if I said both?
Not in the slightest.
Okay, both.
Unless that kid is there, in which case I'm walking into your house whether you let me.
He
Just show what
shouldn't
you're looking
be.
for, whatever.
Look, I am seriously offering you a chance to perhaps learn some more magic.
It's not her choice, Alsan, it's her parents.
Alsana, go ahead and roll a persuasion check. Your favorites.
Yep. Uh, Guidance?
Oh, you beggar. All right, go ahead.
I'll be a begging chooser.
Mm-hmm.
15.
Another choosing beggar.
Oh, consider it. Um, tell you what, if you can recommend me some books.
I could recommend you a library.
Nice. Let's scale that back a bit for right now. Books. One or two.
Individual ones, fine.
Yep.
And
Limit two. The best two that you can think of for somebody starting out. And we're gonna leave it at that. Okay.
she nods. Do you have a particular school of magic you're leaning towards?
Hmm. She shrugs.
Divination, conjuration, abjuration.
Maybe.
Transmutation.
Conjurations always seemed interesting, but I wouldn't say no to most of them.
I'm going to lean back on the necromancy as I am decently
Yeah.
opposed to it.
Oh, don't blame you. I've heard enough stories. I don't blame you at all.
Evocation?
I don't think that I'm gonna be one for divination. Really. It seems a little too flighty.
Alright, then how about let's start you with extra basics. And perhaps get that shaky mage hand a bit more stalwart. Okay, so I guess GM question. Would Alsana have picked up any books in her time in Veravale?
Huh. Would you have?
Because
If
she
you
was wanting to for the purposes of that house.
Okay. All right, if that was a goal, possibly.
I have not thought about it until now, but it
Yeah.
would be a thing that she probably would have. I only ask
Okay.
because she has the Book of Holding.
Yep, you do. So, we're going to go ahead and decide that by if you'd picked up books for the house, would you have picked up books in a certain subject matter?
She would have I think it'd be reasonable to say she would have picked up some like teaching magic ones, given her route she's been going on in this campaign.
All right, fair enough. Um, I'll say you have one magic for basics. Otherwise, you kind of just picked up an assortment of subjects, including alchemy, including enchanting, including just whatever you happen to catch your eye, okay?
Okay.
So you've got one.
All right. Then she'll go. Actually, you know what? And she just goes in her bag, pulls it out, hands it over. How's this?
Well, she takes it, she looks at it, she flips it open, flips a few pages. Should be a start.
Do you not have easy access to it where you're from?
Oh, access to books, absolutely. I just haven't really put in the hours of studying, I guess. At least not for in-depth magic.
And not enough knowledge base to know where to get started?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I know stuff in theory.
Nods. Well, practice does a lot of things. Okay. Shall we set up camp?
All right, guys, you see Tia and Rod and Dren all nod, and they start beginning to undo packs, pull out tents, probably the stuff that they used the previous night when they were left on the other swampy island. Eulalia lends a hand here and there, but you can tell just looking at her that this isn't a person who is used to going out and roughing it, and occasionally her offering to lend a hand might make things a little worse, and so she's kind of shooed away.
If Elsana happens across one of those times, she's like probably gonna make it worse. She might just like bump into her and cast guidance.
Honestly, at a certain point, she just
to make sure she doesn't
and
hammer her
composing.
on thumb.
Yeah, that helps.
Kane's gonna just like walk by and it's like, can I give you one useful piece of advice?
Okay.
If you ever feel like you're not being useful, learn to tie some knots. It's the most annoying part. You've got the delicate mage hands. It'll make it easier for everyone. How good
She
you
looks down at her hands, looks at you. Can you show me?
I hand her the silk scissors rope and just say, make as many fancy knots as you think your know will come correct the wire.
She makes a square knot and then looks at you.
He just sighs and says, do you know how to keep watch?
Well, you keep your eyes open and you look around, and if anything rustles, you shout.
Correct. You're taking watch with me, I'll show you how to do it.
All right.
And Kane will set up the camp and gradually take a nap.
As he has probably been in great need of one for a little while.
Kane
All
needs a
right.
vacation is what Kane needs.
Fair.
As a side note,
And
just
also,
okay.
and also like a painkiller enema.
I should have cut you off.
Yes, you should have. You should always cut me off.
Just without getting into it too much, Alsana does want to talk to the I don't remember their names right now. The two she knows but doesn't know.
Tia and Rod.
Tia and Rod. She'd like to just start a conversation, like ask where they're from, kind of thing.
All right. Is anybody else getting in on this?
Kane's listening if he's not asleep already.
Okay. All right. Rod tends to give somewhat shorter answers. Tia is a little bit more polite, but also a bit distant. You basically glean from them that they're from a little border town, not even big enough to be on the world map. Honestly, one of those small villages akin to Walton. They know each other from way back. They didn't quite grow up together, but from a certain point onwards, essentially, they did. Like mid-teens or so, perhaps. They kind of picked up the wandering guard for hire, occasional adventuring life. Eulalia is their current employer. She is paying them for ensuring her safety for however long she needs to be out here. She's planning no more than a month. And for returning her back to, well, not her home, but the place where she left from.
out of curiosity, ever been to Threshold?
Bit far north. Can't say we have.
Hmm. It's nice this time of year. You should go give it a check.
Eh, heard they're kind of weirdos up there.
If you're not, you'd be right. But the little gatherings on the New Year are rather nice.
Eh, well, it's a few months, maybe.
There's also the Civil War fire up north, so I'm sure there's plenty of mercenary work.
Oh, we've been avoiding that.
All right.
Hmm.
I wouldn't blame
Yeah,
you.
no interest in the big battles. Little jobs, individual people. I'm not interested in becoming a soldier. he's he's dodged more than one conscription.
Hmm.
Yeah, you got that right.
You dodge them well as you dodge snakes.
Yeah, shut up. He very lightly throws a little clump of peat moss at you.
She like flicks back some snowflakes.
Anyhow, yeah, not an easy life, but I'll take it.
Either of you ever thought of magic?
You're not getting your hooks into me.
Is that a yes?
It's I've got my tricks, and I'm happy with that.
You're quite the effective fruit knife. I saw. Well, fish knife, snake knife,
Keep trying.
snake knife.
Oh,
You
keep
could just
trying.
say fighter. She stabs things good.
I do stab things good. Also,
including
this
snakes.
isn't a knife.
It's a big knife.
This
Yeah,
isn't-
you're right. This is a knife. I was like, I'm joking.
Magical too.
Oh, well, lightly. I mean, it's got nothing on that guy's, and she points over at Kane. Or,
Ouch.
for that matter, hers, and she gestures towards Calda. Very flashy.
Hmm.
Very big booms. For lack of any better terminology.
But enough to cut through some of the hardier types.
Here and there. Comes in handy in a pinch. Had to save up you like you wouldn't believe for it.
She's just kind of scanning them and just has this like grin on her face.
Oh, I feel like the NPCs are in front of a shark.
Yep.
This is not
That's
how
what
it's
it
supposed to
sounds
be.
like.
Devin, what the hell? This is supposed to be my effect on you.
What?
This is supposed to be my effect as a DM on your player characters.
I haven't GM'd in a while.
Yeah.
It's
he's
showing.
a little-
Oh,
I feel like
regardless.
can just kind of like walk up there and grab Asana by the top of the head. Just like, hey,
Can I help you?
everyone needs some sleep, myself included. Could you please chill?
They're having fun, right? And she looks back at them.
Rod looks back and says, oodles.
See? Fine, I'll start dinner. She gets up. How's everyone feel about
do
Snake?
Delicious.
You aren't serious, Eulalia says.
Don't waste the meat. Just cook
Dren, Dren just shrugs. It's actually pretty good eating.
it. Be careful biting into it. The bones suck.
Oh, no, I am very good at that. Don't worry.
Do you want a cooking pan or? I've got a cooking pan that makes every meal cooked perfectly. If you'd like to use it.
Sounds of it. I'd give it a try at least.
Weird magic for questionably good benefit does seem like your style. So
I have a magic skeleton removing knife, do you?
he pulls out the greatsword.
I think that more grinds it to dust.
I take the greatsword and I turn it into a short sword.
She shakes her head. I'll be fine.
I take out the carving knife Calder gave me.
Alsana pulls out the frost sickle.
I pull up my other knife. I can go on this all day.
She starts cutting the meat with the frost sickle so it freezes.
Knives come out on all sides. Meat is cut. Meat is cooked. And meat is eaten.
It is tasty.
Now.
Can I roll a cooking check out of curiosity?
Are you using the special pan?
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Can I roll a medicine check for making sure no bones?
It's a survival check. I feel
That's not
like.
medicine. Yeah, that's survival.
Alright, I'll do survival then.
Fine.
24.
You get every damn bone out of there. The
Except for
bones
one that you
are-
intentionally leave in Canes.
The bones are really big. These are giant snakes.
She just like cuts a like single line along with the spines of the snakes and just like fucking like a fucking tablecloth just pulls out the skeleton.
That is the most horrid thing you've ever said. Thank you. Impressive, but horrid.
Alley-oop!
How did you do that? You got arms like twigs.
Magic. Also, you have to cut
No.
every single sinew very carefully.
Alright. At least
Oh.
the shish kebab's good.
With that, you guys settle down for a long rest in the swamp by the shrine, keeping watch against any troubles in the night. And it's a bit early, but this feels like a good point to end it till next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're down in Lawrence.
Yes, you're down on Alaris.
To
It's
level
better
up.
than getting started on anything else.
And Kate gets to level up.
And yep, leveling gets to happen. So, till next time.
Till
next time.